In Ezekiel 37, Ezekiel has just had this tremendous experience with the Lord where he was taken to this valley of dry bones and he had to prophesy for bones to come together, to be covered in flesh and to be filled with spirit. And of course, this is the army of God coming alive here. And then God gives him this prophecy there in verse 13. He needs to go back to the Israelites and tell them the following, that they shall know that he is the Lord, their sovereign ruler, when he has opened their graves and caused them to come up out of their graves. He says, "Oh, my people." Now, of course, today, if you are in Christ, then you are also part of his people. But we see a very, very vivid fulfilling of this prophecy when Jesus dies. So we read that when he dies in Matthew 27:51, that at once the curtain of the sanctuary of the temple was torn from top to bottom. In other words, from God's perspective to ours, his work, and he is the one who facilitates this. And the earth was shook and rocks were split. The earth was shook and rocks were split, and then the tombs were opened, and many bodies of the saints who had fallen asleep in death were raised to life. And we read that coming out of the tombs after his resurrection, they went into the holy city and they appeared to many people. So a very, very crazy historical account of life that God gives as the moment that Jesus dies. And that's the whole point of this. This was for us to know that he is God, that he is the sovereign ruler, and because the graves are opening up and they have come out of their tombs and out of their graves. Of course, his people, the saints. The saints are the ones who came out of those tombs. And we today are partakers of this, is Ephesians 2 verse 5, that we who are in Christ, even when we were dead or slain by our own shortcomings, and just think of your own shortcomings, we can be so obsessed with everything that we do not know how to do, or that we feel limited in, and also by trespasses, which can bring so much shame, mistakes that you have made that you feel that you can't face God about or face people about. But Ephesians 2 verse 5 says that he made us alive together in fellowship and in union with Christ. So if we are in Christ, if we are in fellowship with him, if we are in union with him, we become partakers. The Amplified Bible amplifies this in the following way, saying that he gave us the very life of Christ himself, with the same life with which he quickened him. In other words, the same life that raised Jesus from the dead, he gave to you. Now, you've got to understand that the people in the tombs did absolutely nothing to be raised to life in this point. So they were there, dead, in the tomb, in the grave, and the only thing that brought them to life was Jesus breathing out his last life. It's a work from God, and that enabled the saints to come to life. There was no work from their point of view. And so just to finish up Ephesians 2:5, then, it is grace. It is grace, it's his favor and it's his mercy we did not deserve, but that is what saves us, and that delivers you from judgment. You will never ever be judged by God, save for saying that he is in Christ, he is in fellowship and in union with Christ, he is my son, she is my daughter, and that judgment is Jesus paid it all. It was a work from him, and it's a finished work, and now we are partakers of Christ's salvation. I want to invite you today to become a partaker if you haven't been a partaker just yet. Only thing that you need to do is to say, Jesus, yes, I want this. And why don't you do that right now? Bless you.